Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to the very first episode of Knock It Off. I am your host, Mikey Indigo. First of all, I want to say I'm very excited to get this project started. This is going to be the first in a line of original videos from the Rise Beyond the Matrix channel. We got a lot more programming coming up, but I figured, what better way to kick this off than to have yours truly kick it off? And the first thing I want to talk about for this first episode is about America being a Christian nation. Now, we've been told that America was founded on Christian values, that America's a Christian nation. Let me burst your bubble for a second. We ain't no Christian nation. First of all, but before I even get into why we're not a Christian nation, let's look at America now as it stands here in 2015. America is probably the furthest thing from Christian that I've ever seen, at least the way Jesus would have been, or the way Jesus lived his life. Americans do not live their life that way. As a matter of fact, if Jesus came back to Earth and he came to America and found out that we were using his name to talk about our nation, I think he would just absolutely run back to heaven. And just what would be going through his head would be like, are these people crazy? These people are materialistic, they're horny, they're dumb, they're... Come on, help me out here. Like, it blows my mind when people have to throw out that America's a Christian nation. But you're so unlike Christ. Christ told you to love your neighbor, but we got races running around. We got a Ku Klux Klan. We have a Nazi party. We have people hating everybody. We have black people hating niggers. Yeah, niggers are different from black people. I've talked about this before. But yes, this is a problem. We need to, in order for anything to change in this country, we really need to find out where we stand as a country. If we are really a Christian nation, then start acting like Christ. Otherwise, don't say that, because you make yourself look stupid. And right now, as far as this country goes, the rest of the world looks at us as idiots now, and you want to throw that out? You want to throw out the fact that we're a Christian nation, but so unlike Christ? But first of all, let me actually just jump gears here. The founding fathers of this country never said this was a Christian nation. They never said it was founded on the principles of Jesus Christ. As a matter of fact, most of the founding fathers were either atheists, agnostics, or deists. Deists means they believe in God, but they believe that God doesn't interfere in the affairs of humans. He created humanity and let humanity handle their own affairs. That's what a deist is. But fundamental Christians evangelistic Christians always want to throw out that this is a Christian nation. I don't know why. Maybe someone that's watching this now can explain that to me, because there is nothing Christian about this nation. And on top of that, the founding fathers did not want it to be a Christian nation. They said, if you think about it, if I had to guess, America was supposed to be founded on free thought. That's one of the things that was supposed to make America great. We had freedom of speech. We were supposed to have freedom. If you look around, we sure as hell don't have freedom. As a matter of fact, the way things are going right now, you'll be wishing you had the freedoms or privileges that you have right now. Because in the future, if we keep going the way we are, we won't have anything. We will not have anything. We will not have free choice. We won't have freedom of speech. And we forget about the right to bear arms, because they're working on that. That's another episode coming up very soon, by the way. But the point I'm trying to make here is that if you want to define what your nation is, start with the Constitution and the Declaration of Independence. Not once do they mention the word Christian. Not once do they mention the word Jesus. They say that we're endowed by our Creator. Now, Creator, it doesn't even say God. It says our Creator. To me, I'll tell you how I look at the God thing. God's just a proper name. That's it. Just like a proper name, like Mikey. That's all God is. And then people like to anthropomorphize God, like as he's a man or something like that living in the sky. George Carlin talked about this, the invisible man living in the sky. And if the guy's invisible, how would you know he's a man? Just saying. But I find it absolutely mind-boggling. And I'm going to have to make this a part 2 because there's just so much I want to say on the God thing. But I'll just say this. If you want to know what God is or experience God, you can do it through meditation. Or even if you don't want to go that far, look around you on this beautiful planet that we inhabit right now. Nature is where I'm getting at. Just look at nature. Look at the birds. Look at the trees, the clouds, the sky. This is here for a reason. This is here for us to acknowledge the natural world, something that comes from the divine. People want to say they want to pray to God, they want to worship God, but they don't even know what the hell God is. So how are you going to say you know what God is, or this is a Christian nation, when you've never seen God before? People want to say, well, I've experienced God. Okay. The people that say they experienced God, please leave a comment on how you experience. I'm serious. I'm very interested in hearing what you have to say about this, because I think some of you are just so lost that you guys will believe anything. You'll hear something in your head and say, oh, that was God. And another thing, if you believe truthfully that God exists, I happen to look at God in a different way, in a more pantheistic light. Like I said, if I want to experience God, I just take a walk in nature. I look at the sun shining. These are things that let you know that there's some kind of divine presence among you. But using the whole, well, God's of this man in the sky that punishes everybody who doesn't do what he says or who doesn't follow the 10 rules, some of them you should already know, like don't kill, don't steal. And then 4 of them about just talking about how great this God is. You have to understand that if you want to say you're a Christian nation, if you want to say this is a Christian nation, start acting like Christ did. Love your neighbor as yourself. Love creation. Respect creation. When you got multinational corporations chopping down trees and poisoning water and poisoning the air, do something about it. Don't say, oh, well, the government guess we can't do anything about it. Hey, I wonder what time the football game starts. See, that's what's wrong with the country today. People want things, but they are not willing to work for them. They just want them to fall out of the sky, fall into their lap. No wonder people are waiting on a savior to save them. Because saving yourself is too much work. I can't save myself. That requires work. That means I have to do something. That means I can't watch the football game. See, another thing is people say, oh, they accept Jesus and they think they'll go to heaven. But they're just some of the meanest people I know. I know some Christians, and don't get me wrong, there are some nice Christians, but there are just some Christians. And then on top of that, they want to judge other people because they don't believe the way that they believe. They say, well, I don't believe that, or they need more proof. They question what some of these Christians believe. But because of that, they want to turn the gun around and say, oh, well, then you're going to hell. If you don't believe, or if you don't accept Jesus, you're going to hell. But you think you're going to go to heaven by talking bad about people, or stealing from people, or hitting people, or starting fights. There are just some people that are just so lost that, and then tell them they're lost and they're ready to fight again. Yeah, very Christian of you. Very Christian of you. So to wrap this up, America is not a Christian nation. America is more of a free thought nation. Or that's what it's supposed to be. But you can't even call it a free thought nation because people don't want to think for themselves. People would rather have the government think for them. So, if anything, you might want to say this is a statist nation, which it absolutely goes against everything America stands for, or what everybody believes America stands for, but that's what it's leading to, because people won't, it could be a free thought nation, but people won't think for themselves. It could be a Christian nation, but people don't act like Christians, or act like true Christians. They're Christians in name only. They'll slap the Christian label on themselves and say, yeah, I'm a Christian. But then tell them ask them to do something Christian-like. Like give to the poor. Or Not tell people that don't believe like them they're going to hell. Maybe try to be patient and explain why you believe how you believe. And try to do it intelligently, too. I mean, people were just saying, oh, just read the Bible. That doesn't do anything. There's too many contradictions in the Bible. It says thou shalt not kill unless God tells you to. And then God tells you to wipe out nations of people who never even knew this God existed. So, what the hell? Put it this way. I have no problem with the Christians that actually live up to their title and try their hardest, even in a world like this, to be like Christ. It's probably one of the hardest things to do. But if you are nothing like Christ, do not call this a Christian nation, because it is nothing of the sort. So if you want to hear more, this is the first episode of a very rough draft, but like I said, I'm winging it. There is no script here, so bear with me. There's no expensive production team, nothing like what's on TV now. This is totally grassroots, totally homemade, but keep it tuned because there's a lot more coming. I got a lot of things to talk about. I'll probably touch on this again because I may have to because someone will say something. But I just want to say, if you want to learn more about basically what I'm trying to, as far as my message, what I'm trying to get across, you got to go to shattertheillusion.wordpress.com. That's the new website I'm working on. I did riseoftheindigo.wordpress.com too, but I'm retiring that. I'm going to keep that site up so people can refer to some of my old work from last year. But for this year, for 2015, this is going to be the new website is shattertheillusion.wordpress.com. You could also subscribe to the channel on YouTube, and the channel name is Rise Beyond the Matrix. Or you just go to the site and you just click the link in the video section where all the original videos will be, and it'll take you right to the channel, and then you can subscribe there. But once again, this is Mikey Indigo. This has been the first episode of Knock It Off. So just to wrap this off, people who are saying this country is a Christian nation, knock it off. Seriously. This nation is not Christian. And another thing, before I even wrap this up, stop slapping religious labels on countries. Who cares if it's a Christian nation? Who cares if it's a Muslim or a Jewish nation? Put it this way now. There are so many religions within America, not just Christianity, Islam, Judaism, Wiccan, paganism, all of it. So you can't say it's a Christian nation, because if it was a Christian nation, that would mean the majority of people are Christians, which could be true. Or that everybody, put it this way, if it's a Christian nation, there would not be any other religions allowed. You're either Christian or you're dead, is the way I look at it. But, knock it off. America is not a Christian nation. I think the first thing America should be thinking about is, like, how do we get back to being a free nation? How do we get back to being the informed beacon of freedom that America was? Because if we can't get to that, who cares if we're a Christian nation? You may not have the freedom to practice that religion coming up soon. I'm so serious about that. So, try to think about what you're doing. Try to think about what you're saying. This is Mikey Indigo. Until then, peace.